So far at Two Hands, we're about 80% through barrel trialling all of the 2012 vintage, and it's turned out to be an absolutely spectacular vintage. I would rate it right up there with one of our best vintages to date. So I thought it would be fun to taste a couple of the wines with you and to explain what made the wines so great. Really, when it came down to the vintage conditions, we had moderate yields. Interestingly, there's a theory that low yields equals high quality. We actually don't believe that at Two Hands. We actually think good crop levels, moderate crop levels, nice leaf to bunch ratio is really how we get our best fruit and make our best wine. So it really came down to such a beautiful climatic season, and the grapes did ripen slowly, and we were never really pushed to jump in and pick blocks. We had a moderately warm summer, and the ripening curves and all the blocks, we didn't really ever feel that we had to kind of leap in and grab things. We just let them mature slowly, and the winery was never under a great deal of pressure. So 2012 is a great vintage, and let's see what these wines have in store. It wasn't only a great vintage for Shiraz, which we specialise in, it was also a great vintage for all the other varietals that we work with, be it Eden Valley Riesling, Clare Riesling, White Frontenac for the Moscato, Grenache, Mataro, Cabernet Sauvignon, and little fun things. We made a Saperavi, which we're very proud, from a vineyard in Mopa in the Barossa Valley. So there's lots of everything at this stage across the board is of very, very high quality. First of all, to taste, I have a Grenache from 40-year-old vines out at Greenock from one of our oldest Grenache sites. And I just think you can just see from this the density of the colour, which is we normally associate Grenache to be more red to purple, not really kind of this colour which is almost kind of more purple to black. Very lifted aromatics, lovely tea leaf, violets, lavender, cherry. Beautiful density in the mouth, lovely concentration. Still looks like Grenache, which is very important. Very fine tannins. And we use a little bit of whole bunch in this, and you can just see that texture in the late palate. The beautiful kind of engulfs your whole mouth and just has a beautiful impenetrable fruit profile. So Grenache is good. Now, Clare Valley, my favourite region in 12 was Clare, Shiraz from Clare from our Watervale vineyard. Every time I see this wine, it just, I don't know, it just seems to get better and better and better. So this is Watervale Clare Valley Shiraz. Yeah, really interesting kind of lifted profile of carbon and this really dark earthy tones and this lovely kind of concentration of kind of black currants and licorice strap and all of these things which I find incredibly complex. On the palate, just coating, rich, round, very soft. More red fruit on the palate. It looks darker fruit on the bouquet, redder fruit on the palate. Lovely, genteel wine. It's not an obvious wine. It's a wine that has manners in that it kind of is gracious across the palate and then really does linger. So I'm very excited about what Clare Shiraz holds. And then a vineyard out at Ebenezer from the Barossa Valley, a Shiraz. Once again, we're not struggling for colour, as you can see. Black, black and more black. And yeah, this is just lifted on the nose, kind of this fresh cut flower, Asian spice, some daffodil. Yeah, it's really, what I love about these wines is just these aromatics kind of just leap out of the glass. It's not kind of, you're not looking there searching for it, it's kind of, it's there. Round, thick, but once again gracious with the lovely undertones, and the tannins slowly evolve out of the wine. And once again, tremendous length. So yeah, I think we're absolutely thrilled about what 12 has installed for us at Two Hands. We think it's going to be a great vintage, so we're almost there. We've got about another 20% of our barrels to trial, but it's truly, in our eyes, a great vintage.